Goosebumps. Yeah, Goosebumps. Remember that TV show back in the 90s? Remember that? Goosebumps? Well, apparently Sony decided to make a movie about it. Not just one, but two movies. Maybe more down the road. I don't know. But anywho, guys, I am back. I am back to finally review this movie. My God, this is freaking taking forever. It is taking so long. Like, so long to do this. I'm so happy I can finally get back to reviewing this. I am so sorry, guys, for what happened and all that. But everything seemed to work out perfectly, so, yeah, hopefully it'll stay like that. Hopefully there'll be no more drama with my dad. Because I mentioned that, yeah, my dad and me got an argument. Like, it wasn't I wouldn't say it's a fight, it's more of an argument. Like, well, it wasn't even an argument. Like, it was, I don't know, it's kind of hard to describe exactly what happened, but everything seems to be going good now, so. And Christmas is actually next week on Monday, so we got that to look forward to. But, yeah, so I'm really sorry about that. I'm gonna explain exactly what my plans are for next year and all that. Because I feel like the last couple of years when I did a New Year's, thing, I never, notified that. So I want to do that this time. This year I want to tell you guys what my plans are and all that. So, and down the road. And explain what my thoughts are on the current year that we're in right now. So yeah, I will be doing that. So anywho, let's go ahead and, dive into this movie, Goosebumps. So, Goosebumps. Goosebumps is, the old Goosebumps, was written by, it had books, there was, books and all of that, and then they made, TV specials, stuff like that, and, Goosebumps is pretty popular. I don't think it's as popular as it once was, but I do still hear people talking about Goosebumps. They still talk about it. I just don't think a lot of people talk about it as much as they once did. I think it's kind of faded in the past a little bit, but anywho, so, what's my thoughts on this movie? Well, first, I want to talk about the, series itself. Now, I'm kind of breaking a rule here on my channel. I don't normally talk about horror movies and all that, and, shows and all that, so, The Walking Dead, and I don't talk about that stuff. Not because it's, well, I guess it is kind of because it's scary, but it's also depressing, and it feels like the shows drag on for a while. The Walking Dead, I don't know, it just felt like the show, it's kind of was dragging on and all that, and it was kind of sad seeing people die. I don't like that kind of stuff, but yeah, there's stuff like that. But then there's Goosebumps. Now, Goosebumps, I'm gonna say right here that Goosebumps I am definitely not a fan of. Yeah, you heard that right. I do not like Goosebumps at all. I don't like Goosebumps at all. Yeah, I know. But let me explain. Let me explain exactly why I didn't like the show and all that. I didn't like the show because, I don't know, it just never was my cup of tea. And actually, it wasn't because it was scary. The Walking Dead is kind of scary, but it was more so, I don't know, I just didn't really get into it that much. Now, there were a few episodes that were terrifying. I mean, somehow Goosebumps made freaking worms horrifying. I mean, some people might worms are creepy anyway, but, and then they have, two heads and all that, but, on one body and the other, but somehow Goosebumps made freaking worms horrifying as hell. I don't know how they did it, but they did that in, one of the specials, and then there was, one with, where this family goes to this house and all that, and they go to this house and all that, and just they just go to this they go to this house with this person. These people here, and it turns out they're zombie ghosts or something like that. I don't know what the hell they are, but they're basically I don't know if they're zombies, demons, I don't know what the hell they are, but apparently their whole goal was to kill their whole get rid of that lucky clover reef or whatever it was, and I don't know if the girl was making up a story or these people did die in a plane crash. I don't know, because that's the thing with horror stuff. They do that all the time. Even Rose Red, it's it plays this trend where apparently there's an evil source in the house. But I was watching Rose Red, and I'm I don't know. It wasn't actually. Well, it was scary. The way the girl, the autistic girl, I think this girl was autistic, but they were talking to her and all that, but otherwise it wasn't really scary until the second half. But I still was. I didn't. I won't watch that movie again either. But there's things like that where you question why there's even why are they even why is the house evil and all that, there's things like that that bug me. And then then you got the parents are someone don't believe in this or that, and then it's just kind of it's kind of strange and all that, but yeah, I'm just not really a big fan of the. I'm not a big fan of the movie. I mean the show. The show, it's that came out in the 90s. Well, I guess it wasn't really a show. It was again specials, but it was a special, but yeah, basically it's what it was. It was just a special with a bunch of episodes based off the books, and it was just stuff like that, So, but then they come out with this movie here. That I've not seen in a while, but I remember watching it, and this movie here is supposed to bring back the fans of the original. But honestly, I gotta say, people are probably gonna be disappointed with this movie, because honestly, it's not really it doesn't really focus on the monsters too much. It doesn't focus on the monsters too much. It focuses more on these teens and all of that, and then it focuses on this single dad who by the way is Jack Black, if you guys don't know, and it's probably one of his weakest characters I've ever seen. It's very weak. I mean, it's kind of hard to go with. I mean, let's say compare a serious Jack Black, character, to a goofy one. But I feel like this movie, I mean, they can make it serious, but in this movie, they do him kind of dirty. They kind of make him an unlikable asshole, and all that, and apparently the whole reason why these freaking monsters are evil and all, I guess he wanted to take down the bullies or something. I don't remember what it was, but apparently he's the original author and all, which is not true in real life. Honestly, I don't think Jack Black would write something like this. I mean, maybe he would, I don't know, but Jack Black is more known. He's more known for the comedy, not really this stuff, but this movie does have its humor, and it does have a little bit of goofy stuff, but it's just not. I don't think it's there. I mean, I think it could have worked. My problem is this movie is very, very simple. it's a very simple, straightforward plot. Like, there's like nothing really to this movie you can't find somewhere else. Like, that's a lot better. I mean, it's kind of hard to do something original, because, there's so many movies out there, but I mean, like, the typical, main character falls in love with, another character. That's happened, like, in Ice Age and all that, and it's happened not in just Ice Age, but there's also Sony Animation that, like, with their, the same studio that made this, by the way, made Hotel Transylvania. They did that there, and then they do this, like, in Despicable Me 2 and all that. So they've done this a whole bunch of times. And they've even done this stuff in Pixar too. They've done this in Pixar too. But, with Elemental and all that. So they've done this stuff so many times. Well, I guess technically Elemental was not out yet. So, but my point is there's other movies that can do that. Now, I wouldn't probably say Elemental, was, I wouldn't say Elemental is better than this stuff, like the romance and all that. I think the romance is fine. I just don't think it really adds much to the movie. It really doesn't add much to the movie. But I will say, though, I think this movie has a lot more going for it than Elemental. Elemental was basically a romance movie, which I thought was okay. I didn't hate like other people, but I definitely didn't like it because it focused more on the love and all. I mean the love of this fire girl and this water boy and all that, and basically the movie, like, it got revealed in the trailers exactly what the plot was gonna be, and that's all they focused on. I mean, they had a little bit of some stuff here, like, the pipe, but otherwise it was basically the same thing. That's how this movie is too, like, but this movie's a little bit better because they do have another twist. Well, not another twist, I mean, they do actually have a cool twist, but, that comes out of nowhere, but basically, though, but what happens is, as Jack Black, I don't remember his real name, we're gonna call him Jack Black. Jack Black basically has these books on his shelf. He has these books on his shelf, and, why he didn't burn these books, I have no idea, because apparently he didn't burn them and all that, and basically the teenager guy came because he thought that his crush, because he thought she was cute and all that, you know how teenager love is and love in general, but he thought she was being abused. He goes in the house. Apparently, there's a nerd kid too in there. But they both go in the house, and then they accidentally release a abominable snowman. But then the big dummy comes out, which, by the way, is also voiced by Jack Black, which I think is probably the best character in the movie. Sadly, he's got like a few scenes, and that's it. Like they really don't focus on him too long, but he's the dummy. I don't remember his name. I forgot his name. But he's the main antagonist in this movie. But he basically gets the books and releases all the other monsters and all that, and they have to go after them to like. The whole point of the movie is they need to make a book that that can trap all the monsters in there and all that. So yeah, they have to make it to the school and all that, and there's. But yeah, this movie, unfortunately though, is just kind of it's really not there, and I feel like people would be disappointed watching this movie because the monsters don't really. I mean, the monsters are in this movie, but like they're not in there like as much. Like, I feel like the biggest problem with this movie is I feel like it's a bit too rushed. Like, it's a bit too rushed. Like, I feel like it's kind of like the Super Mario Brothers movie. that also came out years later, and another movie I'm referencing, but it's true, where like, you know, you watch the movie, it feels like some stuff goes by way too fast and all that, and that's kind of what happened there. Like I would have loved like the dummy guy to be more in the movie more. By the way, I also watched the Goosebumps short on that too. So yeah, I've seen a lot of the Goosebumps shorts. So I mean the TV movies or whatever they're called. So I have plenty of experience with the show and all that. So yeah, but yeah, I don't know, but yeah, basically though, this movie actually takes away a lot of the a lot of the monsters and scariness in the well, it still has scary moments, but it's a little bit more goofy, and that's fine and all, but and some of the moments are kind of goofy, but I don't think you're gonna laugh at this movie. But a lot of the moments aren't very cringy. Like, I don't feel like it's cringed, but yeah, you're probably not gonna get much going out of this movie. I mean, again, I guess Jack Black as the dummy too is pretty cool and all that. So at least he actually has a role where he can be funny and all that. But again, the dummy only has like a couple scenes and all that, and then apparently these aliens. Which by the way, they're in like a special. They're like, I don't remember the special very well. But I don't remember that one very well. But I do remember like they apparently they feed on fat people. They feed on fat people, and that's kind of messed up. But apparently they do. They basically feed on fat people. So yeah, that's what happens. See. But that is definitely really messed up and all that. But again, that's kind of how the show, the series was. It was kind of dark like that. But again, it wasn't. I didn't think that special. See, most of the TV specials were not like super scary. Like some of them were, but most of them weren't. But this one's more. Like, this one's mostly for comedy. I mean, yeah, there are scary moments in this movie, but it's mostly supposed to be, a comedy, but I don't know. I feel like I keep comparing this movie to other movies that have come out either before or afterwards. I just think this movie is kind of the black sheep, honestly, of like, the Sony movies and all that. Like, I don't think people are gonna absolutely hate this movie, but I can see people not liking it either. I think. Like, there's not a whole lot that I don't completely hate this movie. I just think it's rushed, and I do think Jack Black is I do think he's a bit too unlikable, and all that, but I do like the twist where it reveals that his daughter is actually something he created. So he created the daughter. He created her, so again, I guess that makes him kind of more of a villain, if you think about it. So he created all those monsters and all that. So if he can create the one girl throughout the movie to be his daughter, then doesn't that mean that like he could have done the same thing with some of the monsters and all that? I mean, I'm sure some of them could turn their backs on him, but I don't know. But I don't know. But again, the whole thing with him trying to keep people out of like his house and all that, like I just don't get it. And I'm like trying to keep people out, like he doesn't even explain what's going on. He just keeps people out of the house because of books and all that. I'm like you could have avoided the whole damn thing if you weren't screaming at people and looking fishy, or even better yet, you could have burned the damn books, and none of this would have ever happened. But hey, I don't know. I mean, that would be a lot better than yelling and screaming at your neighbors. Perhaps maybe next time he probably should think about like warning someone or something like that, instead of instead of yelling, you know, at them. But hey, I don't know. Like it's just kind of those typical things, I guess. I don't know, but yeah. Overall, though, I really don't have a whole lot to say about this movie. I really don't. I think the romance part I do really like. I like the romance part. Like I don't think it's the best. Like I don't think it's cringe, but I don't think it's the best either. Like again, I feel like it's a rushed. Like the whole movie is rushed, like at times and all that. But I'm gonna go ahead and just give it a score though. So I decided I'm gonna give this film a net and 54 points. Yep, 54 points. But yeah, it's 54 points though. But yes, this movie though is all right. Like it's all right. Like I don't think it's that great, but the monsters are kind of interesting and all that. But again, they don't focus on the monsters too much. So I feel like there's not really a lot to really go back to. It's kind of the same thing with the Prince of Egypt as well, which is another movie, you know. But like where I feel like apparently a lot of people actually like that movie, which is fine, but for me, I just didn't feel like there was a lot. Like I mean, it kind of like, you know, like I mean, it was okay and all that, but then I felt like the whole ending, you know, and all kind of ruined that, you know. But yeah, the whole movie kind of just felt like it was kind of, I don't know, like I just didn't really get into it as much, you know. But I will say this movie is better than that movie, but they're both kind of movies where I feel like you watch them once, you're probably not gonna miss anything if you don't watch them again. But they're probably movies that, you know, but they're both movies like that you'll you know, that they're based off of stuff that you know you can watch as a family and all that, you know. Like even people who like someone who's not a fan of the Goosebumps show, you know, will still be into this movie too. So yeah, so I gotta say though that's pretty interesting though, how, you know, they're both kind of like that too. So yeah, this movie just a lot of just stuff we've seen somewhere else before and all that. And I mean, kind of comparing the Prince of Egypt is kind of a little bit kind of strange, but I feel like it's also based off of something too. But you know, it's a religion movie, you know, it's based off of a true story and all that, but they put their own twist on it. So I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. But I'm gonna go ahead and probably let things go from here though, because I really don't have a lot to say about this movie. It's just an alright movie. Like I don't think there's much to this movie. Like there's not much to go back to, but I can understand why people, you know, I can understand too why people might be upset about this movie and all that too, because you know, the fact that, you know, the whole thing about bringing monsters back and all that kind of, you know, like, you know, it sounds like a cool idea, but they don't do a whole lot with the monsters. They mostly just run away from it and all that. They don't do a lot of action sequences and all that, so I don't know. But I'm going to go ahead and let things go from here. So see you all next time. Bye-bye.